Hello and welcome to that Eurovision site, Eurovision with a Slice of Life. Today, our Dansk Melodi Grand Prix 2023 interviews continue with Søren Torpegaard Lund, who will be hoping to represent Denmark with his song Lige Her. So just to start us off today, how are things going today?
It's going good. I just came from rehearsals. I'm doing Greece at the moment. Yes. So that's fun.
So before we continue, let's just start with a quick icebreaker by just asking if there's one thing about yourself that not many people will know about.
Oh, I don't like milk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neither do I, really.
Yeah.
So for Eurovision fans, this will be the first time that they get to know you. Could you just tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yes. So I am. My name is Søren, as you said, and I am 24 years old, and I come from South Funen, which is the little round island in the middle of Denmark. And I grew up doing theater, and then I got into a school and got my bachelor degrees in musical theater, and now I do musical theater for a living, and I'm a big Eurovision fan, so it's quite big for me to be participating now.
Right, so let's move on to Eurovision. You'll be participating at Dansk Melodi Grand Prix 2023 with and can I just start by asking what made you want to participate in the Danish selection?
So I've always watched it. My mom, she showed it to me when I was quite little. I can't even remember when was the first time I watched it. So it's always been part of my life, and I'm a big fan of it. It's so camp and so diverse, and it's everything in between. So when I got asked to do it, I said yes immediately. Just because it's another stage that I'm used to, so it's quite exciting to do that.
You will be participating with the song Lige Her. Can I just start off by asking what the song is about? Because obviously the song is in Danish, so
yeah,
just a little like
Yeah, so when I heard it the first time, I immediately thought that it was a love song, and it's a love song between two people. It's gender non-specific, so I want people to hear it with whatever ears they want to. But when I heard it, I immediately thought of my chosen family, because Lige Her is directly translated into right here. So it's about being right here and being there for each other. And I thought of all the people that has been there for me and has made me have the bravery to be myself.
I love that.
Yeah.
So when the audience listens to your entry, what message would you like the song to be sending out?
Yeah, so first of all, it's a bit more of a calm, a quiet and slower song than most Eurovision songs are, and just the entrances we have this year. So I wanted to be kind of a breather and just be, I wanted to put a smile on your face, and I wanted to be a musically fine experience. Yeah.
If you were to win the national final, what would it mean to you to represent Denmark at the Eurovision Song Contest? Obviously, being a big fan.
Yeah. Oh my, I can't even imagine. It would just be, it would be so fun to not only be on the Danish Melodi Grand Prix stage, but then be on the even bigger one where almost the whole world and at least Europe is watching. It would be so fun, and it would mean a lot to me. Also, being chosen by your country, it would mean a lot.
So I'm just going to ask a little bit more about Eurovision, actually. You've said you are a massive fan. So what is your earliest memory of the competition? And also, do you have any favorite songs from the contest from years gone by?
Yeah, so as I said, I almost can't remember what the first thing was. It's like it's always been part of my life, but I think we have this Danish entry called Vi maler byen rød, which translates into painting the town red, which is sung by Birte Kjær, and she's just a Melodi Grand Prix legend here in Denmark. So she's one of that I remember. And then I discovered that Celine Dion was in Eurovision after watching Titanic, and that song is so good. So that's on my playlist. And of course, Euphoria is just the biggest one, I guess.
As we are speaking right now, we are only a few weeks away from Dansk Melodi Grand Prix. How are you feeling? How are rehearsals going?
I'm feeling good. I had my first sound rehearsal with the band, and just seeing how the sound would sound on TV, and it went well. So I'm quite secure with the whole thing, and we ran over a lot of times, but I'm sure when it gets closer, I'll start feeling all the feelings. Yeah.
So, can you give us any hints into what your staging will look like in Dansk Melodi Grand Prix?
So, of course, I can't tell too much because it has to be a secret. But I can say that it's gonna be quite clean, and there's not gonna be happening too much because it's such a clean and pure and slow, calm song. So we wanted to not be too distracting what's happening on stage. So that's what I can say.
Obviously, you went into it a little bit about musical theatre, and I'd actually looked on Instagram and seen that you've been doing some musical theatre stuff. How does being on stage in musical theatre compare to being on stage singing like at Dansk Melodi Grand Prix? Because I imagine there's some differences there.
Yeah, I guess the biggest difference is that I'm being totally myself on the Melodi Grand Prix stage, whereas in musical theater, I always have to portray a character, which of course will have a lot of me in it, but getting to just be myself and having my own expression and being an artist for myself is quite exciting. And also having a camera on me will be different, and not having that same kind of connection with the live audience, but having to connect with people in the living room watching. That's going to be quite different but exciting.
So I don't know how many musical theatre productions you have appeared in, but which ones were like your favorites of the ones that you have done?
So I just finished doing West Side Story as Tony. That was amazing. It was at the Royal Opera here in Copenhagen, and it was the biggest thing ever. And then I did Kinky Boots a year ago, where I got to be one of the angels. So I got to be a drag queen every night for 6 months, and that was the most fun I've ever had on stage, and I don't think anything will compare ever. Yeah.
So this is like the end now. I just wanted to say thank you for this opportunity to speak to you with such a busy schedule that you have. Is there anything you would like to say to the international viewers over at that Eurovision site?
Well, I hope you have the greatest Eurovision season ever, and I hope that this is going to be the most legendary one that we've had so far, and I hope that it produces a lot of great songs, because that's also just for our playlists. I hope that there are going to be a lot of great songs.
And that takes us to the end of this interview. I would like to thank Søren for joining me today, and please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel, That Eurovision site, for more interviews with the Danish national finalists and more Eurovision 2023 content in general. Also, be sure to give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok and Facebook over at That Euro site, and be sure to check out That Eurovision podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And give us a like over there so you can be notified whenever a new episode comes out. All that's left to say is now bye.
Bye. Nice to talk to you.